The asteroid hit at 40,000 miles per hour. The impact released more energy than 1 billion nuclear bombs. Within hours, the sky was on fire. Scientists call it the thermal pulse, a global heat wave so intense it cooked anything exposed to open air. Within weeks, the sun was gone. And 76% of all species on Earth were dead. But not all of them. Some of the most ancient, terrifying creatures alive today didn't evolve after the asteroid. They walked, swam, and hunted straight through it. And what survived will genuinely disturb you. Borealis. While Dinosuchus, the 33-foot nightmare that terrorized the Cretaceous, burned with everything else, its smaller cousin had a different ending. Borealis, a 15-foot North American predator, looked almost identical to a modern crocodile, because it basically was one. Flat, armored, patient. It buried itself in riverbeds while the sky ignited and the thermal pulse scorched the surface. Crocodilians can slow their metabolism to almost nothing, go months without eating, survive in water while the surface world collapses entirely. The asteroid didn't kill Borealis, it just annoyed it. When the dust settled, it was still there, hunting, feeding, thriving for millions of years after the last dinosaur rotted into the ground. Evolution didn't build a better crocodile after the extinction. It didn't need to. The blueprint was already perfect. But the land had its survivors. The real horror was waiting in the deep. Coelacanths, the frilled shark. 6 feet of living fossil with a jaw that opens like a snake and 300 needle-shaped teeth arranged in 25 rows. It looks less like a shark and more like something evolution sketched at 3 a.m. and forgot to throw away. Its lineage traces directly into the Cretaceous. While the surface ocean collapsed, photosynthesis failed, the food chain disintegrated from the top down. Coelacanths was already in the benthic zone, the deep, cold dark where none of that reached. Temperature stable, pressure constant, food scarce but present. It didn't need sunlight. It didn't need a functioning ecosystem above it. It needed almost nothing, and that was exactly enough. Scientists have pulled living specimens from depths of over 1,500 meters and found them genetically almost unchanged from their ancient relatives. The asteroid restructured an entire planet. The frilled shark didn't notice. Something else didn't notice either, and it was flying overhead. Vegavis. Most people picture the last days of the dinosaurs as pure silence. Giant bodies falling, nothing left with wings. That's wrong. Vegavis ei, a bird confirmed by fossil evidence to have lived alongside Tyrannosaurus and Triceratops in the late Cretaceous, was already quacking. Its fossilized syrinx, the same vocal structure modern ducks use, is the oldest known of any bird. Phylogenetic studies place it inside the crown group of modern birds, making it not necessarily a direct ancestor of today's waterfowl, but something more unsettling: the working blueprint. The proof that the design already existed. Small, airborne, capable of relocating when its habitat turned to ash. It ate seeds and detritus, scraps. And scraps, after an extinction event, are everywhere. While the giants burned, Vegavis flew. The meek didn't just inherit the earth, they'd been preparing for it the whole time. But not everything that survived had wings. Some of it burrowed. Saniwa. Before the Komodo dragon, there was Saniwa, an extinct genus of monitor lizard from the late Cretaceous, part of the same ancient Varanidae family that eventually gave rise to the monitors alive today. Not the direct ancestor of the Komodo dragon, but something arguably more impressive. Proof that the monitor lizard lineage was so durable, so well engineered, that it punched straight through one of the worst extinction events in Earth's history without redesign. Saniwa survived for 2 reasons. It burrowed, and it scavenged. Underground, the thermal pulse couldn't reach it, and when the world above became a graveyard stacked with the bodies of everything that died in the first weeks, scavengers didn't starve, they feasted. Every extinction event is a catastrophe for apex predators and a buffet for opportunists. Saniwa was an opportunist wearing the body of a predator. The Varanidae lineage endured, adapted, and eventually produced the largest lizard alive on Earth today. That's not luck. That's structural superiority. Limulus, the horseshoe crab. Limulus polyphemus belongs to a genus that has remained virtually unchanged for roughly 450 million years, surviving not 1, but 5 mass extinction events before the asteroid even formed. It survived the Great Dying of the Permian, which wiped out 90% of all life on Earth. Compared to that, the asteroid was just another Tuesday. Its blood is blue, copper-based, and clots instantly on contact with bacterial toxins so effectively that modern medicine still harvests it to test the safety of vaccines and surgical equipment. It eats almost any organic matter on the ocean floor. It doesn't need a thriving ecosystem. It needs a seafloor and something dead on it. When the asteroid hit, the seafloor remained. Something dead on it was not in short supply. Limulus didn't survive the KPG extinction because it adapted. It survived because it never needed to. 5 extinctions. Same body, same blood, same absolute indifference to everything the planet throws at it. But the next survivor pulled off something rarer than endurance. It pulled off invisibility. Latimeria, the coelacanth. For decades, every fossil of the entire coelacanth group, fish that had existed for over 400 million years, vanished at the same geological layer where the dinosaurs disappeared. Scientists assumed the whole lineage was gone. Then in 1938, a South African museum curator named Marjorie Courtney Latimer pulled one from a fisherman's catch. Alive, unchanged. The genus Latimeria had left no fossils at all, a 66 million year gap where the entire group simply ceased to appear in the record. They hadn't died. They had retreated into deep-sea caves off the coasts of Africa and Indonesia, where temperature and pressure stay constant and the surface world is completely irrelevant. It has lobed fins that move like limbs, a hollow, oil-filled spine, and a brain occupying less than 1.5% of its skull cavity. Not optimized for intelligence, optimized for endurance. It outlasted the dinosaurs by hiding so effectively that we declared the entire group extinct by mistake. That's not just survival, that's disappearing as a strategy. Some survivors hid in the deep, one hid underground, in Cretaceous Australia. Teinolophus, one of the oldest known monotremes, a tiny early relative of the platypus, small enough to fit in your hand, with an anatomy so strange it confused paleontologists for years. Oversized lower jaw, sensory bill, semi-aquatic lifestyle. Not what you picture when you hear prehistoric survivor, but survival after the asteroid didn't reward the impressive, it rewarded the positioned. Teinolophus burrowed underground during the thermal pulse. It hunted in water when the food chain above collapsed. It ate invertebrates and aquatic organisms when everything else starved. Small body, low caloric needs, double protection from both the heat and the cold dark that followed. Evolution didn't create the platypus after the asteroid. It just let the Cretaceous version live long enough to become one. The strangest mammal on Earth isn't strange because evolution got creative. It's strange because it's old, older than the world that shaped everything around it. And then the survivor that refused to be fragile, Dermochelidae. While Archelon, the 15-foot hard-shelled giant, died with the Cretaceous, its soft-shelled relatives endured. The ancestors of the modern leatherback sea turtle possessed gigantothermy, the ability to maintain internal body temperature through sheer mass without true warm-bloodedness. When the asteroid turned the oceans cold and dark, they didn't freeze. They persisted. Modern leatherbacks are the largest turtles and the heaviest non-crocodilian reptiles alive today. Diving to depths of 4,000 feet, migrating over 10,000 miles in a single journey, crossing oceans that have changed beyond recognition since their ancestors first swam them. The world ended around Dermochelidae. They kept swimming. The asteroid didn't reset life on Earth. It filtered it. Still watching. Which one would you least want to meet in the dark? Drop it below. Subscribe if you made it this far, and ring the bell because the next one goes even deeper.